Oh, yeah. Actually, the other thing I'd been wanting to talk about is Skrillex album.
He dropped an album. Okay, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, he dropped it on April Fools. It's called "Fuck
Wow.
You, Skrillex. You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not."
I thought that was just a caption. I don't know that was an actual album
No, that's
title.
what he titled it. Some dude had apparently somebody tagged like the side of his house or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's odd.
That's like an insane amount of like negative energy to direct at Skrillex like that, you know? Like go and tag his house, bro. Like, it ain't that. I don't know what you're mad about, but it can't be that serious, bro. You know.
Straight up.
The album is cool though. It's like it's not structured like an album. It's more like listening to one of his sets. And it plays all the way through, like front to back, but it is sectioned like in several tracks. It's not one long track. So like if you want to just go back to one drop specifically, like you can, you can do that. Yeah. Right now, my favorite string of like 3 or 4 tracks from the album was it starts at a song called Red Line, and then it goes for like 3 or 4 tracks from there. Not like it goes hard. And the other cool thing is he also took the chance to like feature a bunch of artists like on this. So it's like it was more like he was using it as a vessel to like show off a bunch of artists he thinks he's dope, rather than just like put more music out from himself.
Yeah.
Because you can clearly tell, like on those tracks where he's featuring them, it's like, oh yeah, like this is the Virtual Riot drop, like, and it, it says, or like when Space Laces comes out, you're like, oh yeah, that's Space Laces for sure. You know what I mean? Like he just let them do their thing, and kind of like put it out under his name, because he's gonna get way more clicks than like any of them would. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And it just makes me so happy that like Virtual Riot is like on such a working relationship with Skrillex like that. You know what I mean? Like little K.E.V lore drop here that I don't know if I've mentioned or not on stream before, but obviously, well, this everyone knows, like Virtual Riot is like my biggest influence ever. Like I'm just doing my half the time I'm just doing my best Virtual Riot impression. Like when I make music, like it ends up sounding very different, because like I mean, I can't be Virtual Riot, you know what I mean? But like I just try my best, and then like I never can quite do exactly what he's doing, so I just try and do other cool stuff in like a simplified way. But yeah, and what's cool of seeing him with Skrillex is like, I remember when I first heard him heard Virtual Riot back in like 2014. I had heard one of his EPs called 100% No Bangers, and it was the perfect way to get me into EDM. Like I had heard some other stuff, I like some tracks. Like I just never like got hardcore into electronic music. I knew a couple of Deadmau5 tracks. I knew there's like some Tiesto stuff you had shown me. I knew like some Infected Mushroom, and like there were some tracks I liked a lot, but like I never got full like send like, yeah, let me like really look for artists, and like much less like make EDM. The thought had never really crossed my mind until I heard that EP. And I was like, yo, this dude is soloing all over this freaking like silky smooth, like dreamy floaty beat. It was like so different from anything else from like anything else I had heard, at least up to that point in EDM. It wasn't just like, it was like, yo, it's like there's like sick ass chords going on, a lot of like, interesting sound design, like melodies, and it was music to my ears, literally, and anyways, so I was immediately interested. I was like, okay, well, let's find out more about this guy, right? And like, I found him on Facebook, and then I saw on his like biography there that he like he just was like, hey, my name's Valentine, aka Virtual Riot. I like making music, whatever. My biggest influences are Skrillex and Daft Punk.
Yeah, I wiped.
You wiped? But yeah, he was like, yeah, my biggest influences are Daft Punk and Skrillex.
Yeah.
And I could tell Skrillex, obviously, but I was like, this feels Daft Punk to me with like the funky melodies and shit. And yeah, sure enough, like it was the case. And that was like the only other group I was like actually like pretty into at the time as far as electronic goes. Like I wouldn't say I was like, hardcore fan, but out of like Deadmau5 and like the few artists I knew, like Benny Benassi, whatever, like
Yeah.
I liked Daft Punk the most. So it was cool. I was like, and then probably Skrillex was second place. So it was cool. Like, I was like, oh, okay, he has like the same favorites as me, And then, yeah, it was just, I really connected with Virtual Riot. So it's super dope to have known from all the way back then that like, this was one of his like idols. And like now he's like working with him. He has credits on Skrillex songs. Like he did a piano, he played piano on one of the really big records with Skrillex and I think Sway Lee, if I remember correctly. Sway Lee's on that one. He's a really big artist as well. Yeah, and he's like, he was telling us at the meet and greet, like, yeah, like that song actually came about because me and Skrillex were just jamming at Rick Rubin's house, like a huge producer as well, like.
Yeah.
And then we were in the zone and Sway Lee came over and he liked the chord progression. He started singing. I'm like, dude, that sounds insane. Like,
That's amazing.
to actually
Yeah.
live that, He's like, that what, dude?
With Skrillex, I was never a big fan until we saw that secret show at EDC.
Yeah.
And that seeing him live opened the door to me appreciating him more. And then, when was it? Wait, he dropped those 2 tracks, like, Good Night, what was it? Like, it was the Killers in the Jungle one, and then he dropped another one, like...
Oh, those were recent. Those were, like, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Or 1 or 2 years ago?
There was another one, like, the one that has female vocals that goes, like, it's gonna be a fine night tonight, or something like that.
I'm not sure. I'd have to...
He dropped it around the same time as Killers in the Jungle, and, yeah, that just made me appreciate him more. And then since that point till now, he's just been climbing up my ranks.
Yeah,
as
no,
a favorite DJ.
I've been big on Skrillex since way back in the day.
Yeah, I remember Skrillex was popping around that time. That Deadmau5 was at the top of the world. They were everywhere, dude. There was not a single person within and without the genre that didn't like those 2 DJs.
Yeah, and Deadmau5 kind of put him on, like that's like kind of
Really?
what got him
I didn't
some
know that
shine.
little
Yeah,
piece of lore.
yeah,
I didn't know they were buddies.
yeah. Initially, like he kind of gave him like a nod and stuff, and then for some reason, like the fans like started beefing with each other. Well, honestly, I'd say more so like Deadmau5 fans are like the ones I heard talk shit about Skrillex. Like, I've never heard a Skrillex fan ever talk shit about Deadmau5.
Yeah, I believe that though.
But the other way around, like, big, huge hate boner from like Deadmau5 fans
Yeah.
for
Deadmau5
Skrillex
fans
for some reason.
were fucking weird back then, dude. They kind of turned me off to Deadmau5 for a few years.
Yeah, I like his songs, but I'm not a fan, honestly, like of the fandom.
Yeah. Do you think he nurtured that though? Because he was a big fucking troll back in the day, and he shit talked
Yeah, and he's
trans ironically, and people took it to heart.
And he's
I think he
kind of
nurtured
like,
that fan base.
and he's kind of has that like snobby like attitude that the fans like kind of share with him, you know. That necessarily that's the part I don't necessarily jive with, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know if he nurtured it, but since he is that way, he definitely attracted it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was like consciously doing it, but it definitely like came to him for sure because of like the energy he was putting out.
Yeah, agree. Great DJs though. Time.
Yeah, I mean,
really,
I fucking love.
Time really is the best litmus test for when a DJ is good or not.
I love his music. Like,
I remember like Armin van Buuren. I don't know if a lot of our viewers know this, but DJ Mag has a top 40 DJs list every year that is pretty solid. I mean, like any other top whatever list and whatever awards, there is a little bit of nepotism in there. But for a long time, DJ Mag was held as a high regard as a test to see who's really good. And for the longest time, Tiesto kept winning year after year after year. And then came the young buck Armin van Buuren, and then he started taking it and taking it and taking it. And then after that, I think Martin Garrix was taking it year after year. And you look at their careers now, 10 years later, and they're still dropping bangers. They're still doing.
Really? I have not heard a Martin Garrix song in like probably like 7-8 years. Like, not that I'm saying that he isn't, I just haven't heard
Yeah. A lot of them start working in the background. When Tiesto wasn't dropping songs that were club bangers, he was producing a lot and pioneering and nurturing a lot of sounds. Yeah. I don't know about Martin Garrix, what he was doing in the background. And then Armin van Buuren was always doing his State of Trance radio show, and he was always pushing up new artists. So they're active, they're just not headlining.
Yeah, I thought you meant like dropping like bangers themselves, you know. I was like, damn, I haven't heard a Martin Garrix song.
The same thing with Deadmau5 and Skrillex, like the years have shown they were always and they're still amazing. You can't fake that.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Deadmau5 has a really good ear for talent.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he found Skrillex, obviously. Then he also found Rez, you know, and he's like he took her onto his label, and she's getting real big now too. She's been kind of big for a minute, you know.
Speaking of, I forgot to mention this, but one of my favorite videos of Skrillex was recently. He was at I think he was sharing a fest with Tiesto. And there's a video of him backstage when Tiesto is on, and he's just geeking out at Tiesto's set list. And it just feels so charming how this big name fucking DJ.
Yeah, he's always been that way, man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, how can people hate this dude? Like, he doesn't talk shit about anyone ever. Like, he actually will, like, you know, enjoy like other people's shit. Like, I don't get it. I never got the hate boner for him.
It's just hate for haters. You know what it is? I think people hated his style back in the early days with the glasses and the sides shaved and the long hair.
Yeah,
I just like to hate on the stupidest shit, man.
I won't say like I co-signed that. You know, I would have never like wear that personally, but like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was like, damn, dude, like, because that was like, and you know, I feel validated. Hold on one second. I feel validated because I saw a little bit of a. You know, yeah, I'm assuming you're familiar with Anthony Fantano.
Yes.
Dude, I saw him talking briefly about the album. I clicked off it at a certain point just because, like, I wanted to talk about it on stream, and I didn't necessarily want, like, a lot of his opinions, like, influencing mine. Like, I just kind of wanted to listen to the album more on my own and just give my raw thoughts, whatever. But,
yeah.
I felt validated, and like he mentioned, like, he's like, back in the day it was like a hot topic to say you liked Skrillex. Like, people would get really mad if you like would like just like mention Skrillex. Like, it was a controversial topic, dude. Like, back in the day,
it was like illogically angry at mentioning you like Skrillex. Only kids mentioned it because they didn't give a fuck, but any person like 18 and above was kind of like hush hush about liking Skrillex.
Yeah, it's why I like stopped mentioning it after a certain point, because people would get really like
big mad, big.
Oh, like mad. You like him? Blah 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 blah. But, oh shit, dude, sorry, I just thought the music
Sorry,
was
I
fun, you know?
desecrated your grave or some shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry I insulted you as a person. Like, I just thought the tracks are fun, you know?
Sorry for wanting to have fun.
I was just like getting hyped to this shit, you know what I mean? And like I get, you know, like the music might not necessarily be for everyone. It is like, it's like metal, like it's intense, like it's loud, like it's
It took me a few years to
out
get
there.
into it and understand what they were trying to do with their sound, with their genre. And when it clicked, that's when I started enjoying it.
So like
But yeah, I was a
that,
big time dubstep hater in general.
that I get it, you know, like I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, I hate like fucking indie,
Alt rock
monotonous alt rock bullshit, car commercial
on the
music.
Civic music.
Yeah. But so like it wasn't like really that like I just didn't get like, you know, if you're being like, oh yeah, I'm not into that music, whatever, like I can understand that, but like Jesus Christ, man, you would get flamed
Yeah.
for mentioning that
It's like
shit.
you were un-American to like Skrillex and dubstep.
Yeah. But yeah, it was validating to hear Fantano talk about that. I'm like, yes, dude, like I wasn't crazy. Like y'all were fucking tripping over this shit back in the day, man. Like you need to relax.
You need to
It's
chill
just,
out. It's just
music, dude. They're just silly, like weeble wobble noises, man. You don't have to like get so upset.
Like this person doesn't even know you exist.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Then I also felt really proud. I just feel so proud of like seeing Virtual Riot like consistently working with Skrillex over the past few years, and like I just love that Skrillex appreciates him. It's like, dude, because it's like the equivalent of like me like achieving success and starting to work with Virtual Riot on a regular basis. Like that would be like I made it, you know?
Yeah.
Any of these
But
guys, obviously, like that I've mentioned, like I'd feel honored to work with, but like I mean PR specifically would be like, holy shit, dude, like I'm working with like the dude I like learned everything from, essentially, you know?
To Ed Sheeran's new track, which I liked a lot.
I did not know he had a track. Yeah.
Yeah, he just dropped Azazam, just dropped it. It's fucking good because it's Ed Sheeran and that guy shit's gold. But more than anything, it just makes me excited because now that he's dropped a track, and now that Cradle of Filth has dropped their newest album, now I just have to wait for the promo season to be over so that they can finally drop the Ed Sheeran Cradle of Filth track that they collabed a year ago. That they just didn't want to drop because they didn't want to conflict with each other's projects. And I'm like, motherfuckers, just drop it. Stop teasing me like that.
I was
like,
was talking with a buddy that like I forgot how the question came up about like music, and I was like, oh, honestly, I honestly don't listen to a lot of music. Like, he's like, what, really? And I was like, yeah, I just, you know, I hardly ever listen to music unless I'm at the gym or something, and I kind of just have my set playlist, and I'll like go for like years with the same playlist until I update it.
Yep.
And then he's like, but then how do you keep up with music? And I was like, I don't.
I know. Yeah. Whenever something is glorious, my friends recommend it to me. Otherwise, I just don't know.
That's the neat part. I don't. Like the fucking. Yeah, I was just like, I don't, man. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, then you're right. It's like unless it's like something like as big as Skrillex, and even then, I didn't realize like because like I keep up with Skrillex. I just realized because a friend of mine sent me like, oh shit, this dropped.
That's the best way to go, dude. I know when you're in high school, it's easy to keep track of all your favorite metal bands and even the tier 2s and tier 3s and just be the guy that knows about metal and what's. But then you get into the adult world and it's just so fucking.
Yeah, I got too much other shit to worry about than like keeping up with every artist shit, you know.
And then now there's just more volume of music that there was 10 years ago.
I fucked up.
It's so easy to make music now.
I forgot to do the manip again.